Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Chase, and today we have another 4Runner mod video for you. This one's gonna be a bit exciting for me because it's a bit of a redemption video from the last one. I made some mistakes with the last time we plasti dipped, and we're gonna try it again. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to do it correctly, and also show you guys what it looks like after a long period of time of doing tons and tons of washes, going off-roading, how well the plasti dip stands up. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so first things first, let's look at how this plasti dip has stood up to time. If you look at my last video, I did the bumper valance, both of them. So I have since kind of redid both of them. This one I didn't actually take off and then redo. I recoated it. So this has been recoated with another layer, another few layers of plasti dip to give me that same texture throughout the whole piece, and it looks a whole lot better. And it also has not chipped a single bit. Every single bit of this is perfectly fine. And I've gone off-roading with it. I'll clip a video of me washing it this morning. It just stands up to everything I throw at it. All right, so as you guys can probably tell, I redid the front section. It's no longer that speckled texture. So I went ahead and took everything off. I used a little microfiber towel to scrub it off, and went ahead and redid it from scratch. It kind of looks like there's some chips here. This is actually just bug stains. I need to actually go through and just wipe it down with a towel, but there is no chips on this thing. It looks absolutely fantastic. And I've done off-roading and tons of washes, auto and touchless, and it stood up to everything I've thrown at it. All right, so today what we're gonna be doing is going to be plasti dipping the badges, the rear badges. These are really high sheen, whatever you wanna call it, chrome. I think it stands out way too much for the rest of the truck. I could also do the side badges, but these are like a lot more matte colored, and I like that. I think those look really good with the truck, but this just stands out way too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and plasti dip it. All right, so just like last time, let's go ahead and mask it up. We are done masking. I know it's a lot that I have going on here, but it's really all just to protect from overspray. I don't anticipate that I'm going to be spraying all over the place, but if there is any little splotches that when I go flying, I don't have to worry about cleaning it up later. This is all going to be handled. So we are ready to spray, so let's go ahead and get to it. All right, so a couple of tips for what I did last time. Stay about 6 inches away from the surface. If you go too far away, the plasti dip starts to dry midair, and it'll create a little speckle texture, and you don't want that because it's easy to peel off. So you want to stick about 6 inches away. You want a nice matte finish. You want to do really light layers to start with, and then make sure you have no drips as you're going. If you get a drip, you're going to have to restart the whole thing. So let's go ahead and get started. It's hard to tell on camera. I did a really light first layer. There's still a lot of gray coming through, so that's okay. What we want to do is just real light layers, and then about 5 to 10 minutes between. The can says 30 minutes. I found 5 to 10 minutes is pretty adequate for making sure that things are dry and ready for a second coat. Try not to go too quick, because if you do go too quick and it's still wet, you're likely to get drips. So just wait about 5-10 minutes. I would say probably 10 minutes is the best way to go, and then you can start your next coat. All right, so I want to show you something a little bit real quick because of an issue I just had. When I was spraying I think the mouth of the sprayer, or whatever you want to call it, had a little bit of a clog in it, and so I had to spray a little heavier. But as you can see, there's a little bit of a texture going on here. It looks like almost like a golf ball texture. That's okay, that will go away after about 15 minutes or so of drying. Do not worry about that. That's not the speckle I'm talking about. The speckle I'm talking about is like an actual rough texture that you get from spraying too far away. This is fine. This is an okay texture. This will start to smooth out as the paint dries, so don't worry about this texture. All right, it's been 15 minutes, and as you can see, all of that texture is gone. There's no more golf ball texture, and it is ready for another coat. One more quick note before we go on to the next coat. The reason that you want to do so many coats and so many heavy layers is because it also makes the thickness of the paint obviously a lot thicker, but also the thickness of the area around where you painted, around which you want to stay painted thick, so it's a lot easier to peel. So let's go ahead and keep going. And as you can see, there is more golf ball texture, which will go away after it starts to dry. And that's gonna be the last layer that we put on there. I think I put on 4 or 5 layers on there, I think 4. And we're gonna let that be fine, because this is just the badges. And I did put on some heavy layers, so it should be good to go. It should stand up. It doesn't need to stand up as much as the bumper valances do, because obviously bumper valances will be going over brush, whatever else while I'm off-roading. The badges will pretty much just need to withstand washes. So that'll be it for sprays. So next we're gonna be taking off all the masking and peeling off all the extra bits, and that'll be in about an hour of letting it cure. So we'll see you guys in a bit. All right, and 1 hour later, everything looks super dry, looks super good, and we are ready to start peeling. Let's do it. All right, so I'll have you take a little closer look. You can see there's still a lot to peel off, but shouldn't be too hard. I'll do a quick, some close-up shots here, so you can kind of see some tips. What you need to be doing when you're peeling is be pulling away from the edge. Don't pull straight up, because you don't want to accidentally start pulling up from what you want to stay colored. So we're gonna pull straight away. And as you can see, it just comes right off. You don't have to typically do any like trimming or cutting. It usually comes right off from the outside edge of where you did it. So that is done for the outside of the Toyota symbol. Let's keep moving around the 4Runner 4Runner logo. Okay, so as you get into some of the tighter areas, you might need to use something like a toothpick. I have a little twig here. I don't have any toothpicks at home, so I just found a little twig. And I'm gonna use the little end that I kind of filed down a little bit, or whittled down to get into some of these really tight areas that I can't get my fingernail on. So let's keep going. So that is a Plasti Dip job done. I think it looks fantastic. It didn't take long to do. I do need to wait 24 hours for it to fully cure, but otherwise it's a job well done. It was a little bit harder than I thought it was. It was much harder than the valence is, but otherwise it's really not difficult to do. You just gotta take your time with it, and it'll turn out great. But thank you guys so much for watching our channel, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.